Good morning, fourth grade. Today we are going to work on our new TDA. We're not going to get too crazy as far as writing and things like that are concerned. These are only the beginning steps. What I would like to do with you today is take a look at the question itself, do a little deconstructing, and find a little text evidence, and we'll do some examples together. So let's start from step one. On your digital screen, you're going to see something like mine, and I'm going to do mine a little differently. You'll be able to drag your little circles down. I just actually circled mine. I'm not as techy as Mrs. Feathers and Mrs. Oliver, so I like to do things old school. Anyway, let me read this to you. Our story this week is titled Experts Incorporated, and right away I think you'll see that we're in this column to the left, which means that this story is fictional. Although it is fictional, much of what happens within the story could take place in real life. So one of the first things we want to do when looking at a TDA is deconstruct the question. So that means we want to kind of pull it apart and figure out what it is that they're asking us to write. So, I'll read the question. It says, in the story Experts Incorporated, Rodney was nervous he was going to disappoint his classmates. Write an essay analyzing how Rodney's actions support the theme that it is important to work hard to achieve success for yourself and others. Use evidence from the text to support your response. Okay? You'll notice that I have highlighted Rodney's actions support the theme. Theme is very obvious. Theme is one of our elements, and you'll notice how I circled that there. The second element that we see here is Rodney's actions. And I think a lot of students get confused, but simply what we're saying is that's the character. And Rodney and the way he acts, or his actions, I guess you could say, are going to help us understand what the theme is. And theme is basically a moral teaching or a moral value. The nice thing about many of our TDAs is the theme is presented there for you. You've just got to support it now. And what I mean by that is it tells you it's important to work hard to achieve success for yourself and others. So as we look at this, we want to really focus on the actions of Rodney and how they, and when I say they, I mean his actions, how his actions will help support this particular theme. So on your paper, on your digital copy I should say, you want to drag these two circles down to theme and character. I'm going to show you another slide, and what we're going to do is we're going to use our textbook to come up with text evidence that show the actions of Rodney and support our theme. Okay? So, here's what I have. The directions for us are to identify pieces of evidence to support the TDA prompt. Remember, you're searching for Rodney's actions that support the theme. So I have 3 examples up here. The first one I'm going to do with you, and the second 2 I would like you to find on your own. So I have a model here for you, if you will, and you can use that model as help. So I'm paraphrasing, and when I say that, that means that I'm taking what I read and I'm kind of putting it into my own words. And you can do that on a TDA. You can be very specific. You can copy the words down if you want, word by word. But in this particular example, I took evidence from page 37. Now, I was specific. This is the last paragraph. And basically what Rod said was, when I say Rod, I mean Rodney, I took out my notebook and began to write. When the 5th period bell rang, I was already in my seat with a stack of 4 handwritten sheets of paper. Now, What that's showing is that Rodney was working very diligently or very hard at trying to come up with this project. And remember, at first, he was really having a hard time. But we want to prove that hard work, is the key to being successful. So my specific evidence, my first one, is going to be on that particular page. Like I said, how do we know that? Well, we know that Rodney is hardworking because he wrote down 4 handwritten sheets of paper. Now, I know all of you, as fourth graders, writing down 4 sheets of paper full, that would be difficult to do. So that tells us that Rodney's mind was really working hard and he had all these great ideas that he wanted to put down. Your job is going to be to do the same thing. You're going to use page 38 and page 41. And what I want you to do is I want you to come up with a text evidence example that indicates that Rodney continued to work hard to become successful and get this project complete. If you have any questions, let me know. But this is all we're going to do. We're going to start slow and we're going to come up with text evidence first. And as time goes on, we're going to take that text evidence and we're going to do our inferencing and our analysis, and we're going to write our introduction, our conclusion, and so on and so forth. So good luck, and we'll see you again soon.